is where pretty much everything's going to change for you if you have a learning disability. Before this point, you have had your IEP, your independent learning plan, and you've had somebody there with you every step of the way helping you out, and you've been able to achieve, hopefully, your goals, and you have learned as much as you could, although sometimes you might have kind of just breezed through something without learning anything. I know a lot of people that they will just pass because they know they have a learning disability, and that's not good. You should always try to learn. But in college, all of that changes. You're not going to have your mama there, and you're not going to have your special education teacher there to hold your hand with your classes. That's why it is important to advocate. For some people with a learning disability, this is a major struggle because you might have social issues. A lot of people with learning disabilities don't quite understand a person's facial expressions, or they might just be socially awkward. And I was one of the quiet people, so I kind of shy away from activities. But actually, when I was a senior in high school, I was sent to a youth leadership forum, which is basically sort of like a conference for teenagers. You go to a hotel and you'd spend like 3 days there, listen to a bunch of lectures. There'd be some dinners, and actually a couple fun activities too. And it was for people with disabilities. It wasn't just for people with learning disabilities. There were several different types. But in that forum, I was forced to socialize. And after that, everything clicked, and I became a way more social person. So what happened was, in my mind, I just realized, who cares anymore? A lot of people are probably going to be nervous and shy, but really, you just got to get out there. Also, one of the things that made me more social was that was the summer before my senior year, and I came to the realization, you know what? I'm never going to see any of these people again after the year's over, so I might as well just do whatever. So the important thing is to try to be active. I know that for a lot of people it's scary, and it is. But socialization is important, but in college particularly, because that's where you're going to make all your connections. A lot of people make their closest friends there. But what's more important is avocation. So in the college experience, you're going to have to advocate for yourself. If you have a problem, you're going to have to talk to your teacher, your professors about that. When you do pick out a college, odds are, if you're still struggling with your learning disability, you're going to try to pick a college that is able to compensate and help you with that. You might even pick a college that is specifically for people with learning disabilities. Yes, there are several out there. I did not go to one, so I don't know what their names are, but there are several out there just for learning disabilities. I picked a college that is close to home because I did not want to live on campus. It was a 4-year college. It was a regular college. I got a bachelor's degree in education, social history really. But I chose that college also because it was the best, it had the best reputation for helping people with disabilities in my area. And so there will be a place in your school where you can go for assistance. There is a disability services place in every college, at least as far as I have heard. And they will be able to help you, but you're not going to get the full help that you got in high school and middle school and elementary school, your primary schools. Um, in college, I was able to be out of class for all my tests like I was in high school, and I was provided CDs that they never gave to me early enough that I could listen to them, that would read my books to me. But I know I shouldn't say this, but half the stuff that you have to read in college, you don't really have to read if you go in class for college, because if you go in the class, they pretty much are lecturing from the book. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case, but in a lot of cases, that's what would happen for me. So it didn't really affect that. But I didn't have a reader read to me the tests like I did in high school. What would happen was my tests would be on the computer, and the computer would read back to me in a nice robotic voice that a computer would read back. So that was sort of my college experience. It was very impersonal. And then you'd have to advocate with your teachers. A lot of times even in high school, you'd have a teacher that doesn't really quite understand that you have a learning disability and that you're struggling with something. But in college, they don't care at all. Yeah. So you really have to advocate for yourself with the professor. You need to, if you're having issues, you need to go to the professor. They have office hours for a reason. So you need to go to your professors and talk about it. You might want to talk to your disability counselor first, because some professors are a little more touchy than others. So they might need to advocate with you, but you really need to actually be aware of what's going on and sort of nip it in the bud before something happens. Because when you're in college, you're not going to get those progress reports every week that say, this is what the problem is, this is where you're struggling. Like any other person, you're going to get your grades, and then you're going to have your midterm, and then your final, and then you're going to say, hey, I did horrible on my final, what happened? And then you're going to, but that's anybody. So you really need to make sure that you are understanding. And by this point in your life, if you have been diagnosed early enough, you should actually know when you're struggling. And unlike other people who might struggle a little bit and be like, I think I'll get it, you need to address it as soon as you can. And that is the only tool that I can suggest for you in the college experience.